Hey, this is Brian again, and I'd like to ask you to do a favor. We can't do this work without people like you, so if you can, please like, share, subscribe, tell your friends about Bring Back the Porch.
Our community has been so wonderful, which I know you know, and rallying behind us. So we'd had a number of fundraisers happen in his honor and in his memory, and we thought, okay, we had fully funded a scholarship that goes through Notre Dame Academy every year. So we wanted to do something that could keep this going for a long time, and that's where the idea of the Josie Doll Foundation came from.
This episode of Bring Back the Porch brought to you by Bernie Leahy, River Street Realty. Let's get you home. In July of 2024, there was a tragedy. 15-year-old Josie Doll involved in a fatal motor accident, shocked everybody in our community, but friends and family have rallied together and they are keeping his legacy alive. And Josie Doll, the mother of Christian, is with us now to update us on what's going on. And you have had a lot in the last 2 years. We have had a lot, from the loss of Christian to the court cases and sort of everything in between. It has been difficult, but we want Christian's light to live on. So it's been very important as well in everything that we've done. So I've had the privilege of writing a book that tells a bit about my story as the mother losing her child. So, and that was fairly cathartic for me. From what I've heard, it's been useful for other parents as well. So I'm grateful that I had that opportunity. But as a family unit and as a group of friends and family, we've come together to create the Josie Doll Foundation, which is sort of the culmination of a lot of things that had been happening. Our community has been so wonderful, which I know you know, and rallying behind us. So we'd had a number of fundraisers happen in his honor and in his memory, and we thought, okay, we had fully funded a scholarship that goes through Notre Dame Academy every year. So we wanted to do something that could keep this going for a long time, and that's where the idea of the Josie Doll Foundation came from. Now, you just recently had a hockey game. We did. Where a bunch of, players that knew Christian got together and people came out, and it was a success. It was difficult for me, actually, to say the second annual. It's weird how time goes amazingly fast and amazingly slow at the same time, but it was the second annual Josie Doll Memorial Hockey Tournament. That's coordinated by a wonderful and amazing group of local hockey moms who their boys had played. Some of their boys had played with Christian, some hadn't, but just really wanted to come together to honor him. And I think ultimately it was Mike and I were also a thought in that, in a way to bring people together. And that's what I really saw this year at the tournament, was just a community of people who came together. Mike's brother, Dennis, last year and this year as well, provided food for everyone. And just to see everyone staying around for hours, talking and eating and enjoying, and watching some really great hockey. So even boys that didn't play this last year came out and played. And it was a really heartwarming sense of community that you don't often get to see anymore. And it's nice because you said it keeps Christian's light burning. Absolutely. He loved hockey. I know. He loved that dressing room. He loved the teamwork. He loved everything about it. So watching the boys with the CDs on their helmets and their jerseys and swag, I'm wearing some of it, but with Christian sayings on the back. It really warms a mom's heart. I know it warms a dad's heart too. So we're very, very grateful for those types of events.
I remember, Christian, when we used to have our fantasy hockey draft at your house in the garage.
That's right.
And Christian would be so excited because the guys were coming over, 5 or 6 years old, but he was right in there helping Mike do whatever. And he looked forward to the draft as much as we did. And I always, every time I think of our fantasy hockey draft, I have the memory of Christian doing that. And such joy that he had in his life. And hockey was a big part of that.
It was. And spending time with his dad and the boys, because he so often had to spend time with me and Mika, and he's stuck with the girls. So, the potty league will forever be remembered. Yeah, he loved that. Yeah.
Now, something else that is coming up, too, is a golf tournament.
Yes, actually, this is the first official event of the Christian Doll Foundation. Now, as I said, there had been some third-party events that had happened, that hockey tournament. There was the Oilman's Bonspiel, gave the proceeds to the Christian Doll Foundation. We had a gentleman named Jerry do a fundraiser at the end of last year. So all of the funds that have been raised are rolling in to the Christian Doll Foundation. So the plan is for the foundation to run one singular fundraising event per year, and that is the golf tournament.
Now, it's already sold out.
It is.
Yeah, amazing. And
Isn't it?
It's in June. We're almost 8 weeks ahead.
It is. It's June 18th, and we didn't even open registration. I don't know, there just really isn't words to describe how that feels. I've run many golf tournaments throughout my professional career, and I've never come upon this. So it's just, it's a testament to the people here and the people who want to make a difference and the people who knew Christian or knew of what we're trying to do with this foundation. So I am beyond grateful.
Tell me a little bit about the idea, where it came from to have the Christian Doll Foundation.
Well, Christian had a number of sayings that he said all the time, but one of them was set the tone. Him and Mike on their drives to hockey would say, okay, we're going to set the tone this game. We're going to set the tone this game. So that's where it came from. We wanted Christian's memory and light to be of setting the tone so that kids could play on. He loved, I've said it before, he loved being in the rink, but he was also the kind of player and person that every team needed. And I say that as a mom, but I also say that looking in, because he was dedicated and he was first to the rink and he was last out and he was always willing to help somebody. Shortly after he had passed, actually, we received an email from a mom who had told us a story about Christian that we didn't know, that has stuck with us forever, because it's amazing when you hear from someone else that your child really is who you thought they were when no one is watching. Mm-hmm. So she said one day in the locker room, there was a moment when this player came in and there was nowhere for them to sit. And they looked around and no one was moving. And she said, and Christian slid down and made a place. And without hesitation, he did that. And it changed the way that player played hockey. It changed how they viewed the game. And it warms my heart to know that he really was who I thought he was, even when no one was looking. So we wanted to make an organization so that every child knows that they can belong somewhere in whatever they want to do. It doesn't have to be a sport. It can be an activity. So that's who Christian was. And that's why this foundation exists, because we think that every child deserves a chance to play. So we, as a foundation, as an executive group on this foundation, we ask ourselves the question, it's always going to be, does this help get a child a chance to play?
Yeah. How is that mechanism going to work now? You're raising money through the golf tournament.
Yes.
And then you have a board that sort of looks at how we can help, or do people apply to the fund?
Yeah, people will apply to the fund. So
CRA makes things a little tricky,
Oh, yes.
so we have to get the funds in place before we can submit our application. But we do have things sort of laid out that we would fund registration, equipment, tournaments, emergency needs, team support, community events. It's fairly broad. It has an impact on anyone. There's no barrier to application. So a lot of times things are income tested. And unfortunately, we all know this, as parents, we can make a reasonable amount of money, but it's still a very expensive day and age to live in. So even if you're making a large amount, your expenses may also be large. And if finances are a barrier, you can still come to this foundation to apply, because we don't want your child not to play because of a financial barrier.
So like Christian made room in the dressing room for that other child, this is what you're going to do with the foundation.
That's right.
Yeah.
We're going to make room and make sure everybody gets to play.
And it's not just for hockey?
Not just for hockey. It's in fact not even just for sport. It could be dance. It could be theater. It could be judo. It could be anything that is of interest to a child. We as a family know the benefit of activity and the benefit of group activities on the development of our children, and how important it is to be able to learn to play as a team or to participate alone. So we just want to make that available, and we want to do that in Christian's honor, because that's what he would have wanted to do.
When will you start dispersing funds?
This year. So the tournament is June 18th at Medicine Hat Golf and Country Club. And we will start dispersing in the fall. So the timing runs pretty good with when registrations will open for the fall season for people. So we're excited. We're excited to help as many families and as many kids as we can. We won't be doing a ton of fundraisers, so this is our major fundraiser throughout the year, and we've been blessed to be able to sell out our sponsorships. We have a few whole sponsorships left, a couple of small things, but the way that people have stepped up is amazing, and we're going to do some really great things with that.
And if someone is watching or listening and thinks, I would like to donate to this,
Yes.
maybe not necessarily for the golf tournament, but just to help preserve Christian's memory and to make others have the experiences that he had, how do they do it?
The Christian Doll Foundation is on Facebook as a group there, but there's also an email called christiandollfoundation@gmail.com. Those are the best ways to get a hold of us. All of the committee has access to that, so we'll be able to get back to you, so that we would love to see as many people involved as possible. In the golf tournament, it'll be a great day, but in the foundation in general, so that our community can really see the impact here, and we can talk about Christian for years and years and years to come.
And people down the road will go, who is Christian Doll?
That's right.
And you open the door.
And we will tell them. We will tell them of the amazing child that he is and was, yeah.
Will there be an actual application form that people will need to fill out for the Christian Doll Foundation if they want to need help to get their child into an event?
Yes. So the foundation will pay the fees directly to the organizing group. It won't be directly to a parent or a guardian or anything like that. So after the golf tournament's complete and we have the money ready to go, then the form will be uploaded to our Facebook site. And if you don't have access to Facebook, you can send us an email and we will send you the application form. We just need to know what organization, when the program starts, what the dates are, what you're requesting, if you needed if you needed equipment, that sort of thing. And something that's really important to us is to really understand what will it mean for your child to be able to participate in it. It's not a big form, it's not an onerous form, but we really want to understand what the child will gain in that process. So, and that's really it. It's fairly simple.
Do you have the email address?
It's the Christian Doll Foundation @gmail.com.
Okay. Good.
Yes. Yeah.
I was going to ask you too, when your previous visit here, you launched your book,
Yes.
Courage in the Corners. How's that going?
It's going really well. I've currently sold just over 2,500 books. So my book launch was in November. I'm so happy to know I've gotten many emails from many people who the stories resonated with them. So who are having a hard time, whether their child had passed recently or a long time ago. It's something really hard to settle in your mind. I have a very strong belief in God, which is the primary focus throughout the book. And that's what's really helped me through the last couple of years here. So it's been heartwarming. And that's all. I actually wrote the book for my ex-husband, Mike, and for Mika. And that was it. I wanted them to understand me. Really, like how this had affected me. So being able to help people beyond the two of them is just a blessing that is over and above anything that I had hoped for it. So I did return to work in December part-time, so I kind of put the book promo a bit on hold, but yes, yeah.
When a tragedy happens, it's always difficult to understand why, but you can see God's hand at work in the interim in spreading the memory of Christian.
That's right. Yeah, it is. That's why is the hardest question. And through my faith and through this time, I have come to realize that I'm not going to understand the why here and now, but that there is a plan for good, not for evil and not to harm us. So, yes, we're making a way for some good to come from this.
Well, I'm sure we'll have another visit, Josie, when we'll talk about some of the other exciting things that are going to happen to honor Christian's memory.
I would love that.
Thank you for the visit.
Thank you so much.